Hello and welcome to the Western Way. This is Dresden's Tale, episode 21. I'm your guide, Lewis Nichols, and this is the story where we struggle every episode to remember our Roman numerals, try to get the next one right. I have to admit there's been more than a few edits here and there. Now, what is the Western Way? Well, if you will refer to your maps, the Western Way is a road exiting from Parnsilia on the way to Marvin's Point. It is sometimes called Quarry Road, the first 10 miles of it or so, because there are some amazing granite quarries along the Trojan Mountains on the way out of Parnsilia. This is possibly the heaviest traveled road in Keld lands, simply for the fact that it lies between what is easily the two largest cities in Keld lands, one being Parnsilia, the other being Clayton. Clayton is the city primarily run by the doomed, although the Maraudin certainly have an influence there. Sits below the fortress of Marvin's Keep. Dresden is on a new adventure, as I alluded to in the previous episode, but we'll get into the details of that as we go. For now, it is the 8th day of Thorsten, 2051 years after the fall, and this is chapter 20. Fane? Did you fuck my wife? They were barely a mile west of the city before Dresden feared his suspicions were about to be played out. Bereal had asked Nanok directly for the warlock's participation in the mission, an expedition escorting a group of fresh converts going to the Stone Clan island of Cadiz. So much for full time in the woodshop. But the only possible reason was revenge for some perceived injustice. I did not. He turned on the human and pulled his sword, shuffling to a halt. Bereal put up his hands. Calm the fuck down. I'm only asking. She's been on this whole I want to fuck a dwarf kick for weeks. So I thought maybe you did. When you get back to PS, give her a try. You seem to be a submissive type. She loves that shit. She probably already has a harness fitted for you. He moved back up the column. The warden of Dagonis wasn't the only familiar face on the journey. As with the mission to Jungo, Gain was in charge and Bereal got his way. Dresden was beginning to realize the two of them were closer friends than he had previously suspected. Drayle was there, as was Donald and Liz. The new mission was to escort roughly 100 fresh converts to the processing center near Georgetown, the island's capital. There, they would be educated in ways of their new culture and doled out to the various clans. There were black-skinned humans. There were dwarves with long hair, all from Etwine. There were golden-furred Quirda from Odessa, shaggy, dark-haired Monkey from Julbex, gnomes from Balestrand, and more whose origins Dresden did not know. Most came from villages shattered by Keld raids. These survivors had a chance now, whether they deserved it or not. Most were young, and many of the women carried babies or had toddlers hanging off of them. Dresden couldn't argue that the youngest should have a chance to learn the right way of living. They never had that opportunity for a real education. Now they did. Perhaps that was true of all of them. They traveled west from Parnsilia along the well-established road. To his right were the Trojans. In many places, the rocky cliffs thrust right up along the road. The heights gained hundreds or even thousands of feet in elevation within just a mile of the path. There were very few easy places to cut north from the road. Most northbound traffic from the city of Gates skirted the wall of mountains by ship. The south bore a few outcroppings of stone, but the rule was even terrain. Dresden could see unobstructed right to the distant horizon. Cattle grazed in groups of hundreds, along with goats, sheep, and horses. They were among the herds of the Stone Clan. Farms, ranch houses, and tiny clusters of shops dotted the land, kept safe by a citizenry where 2 and 3 men and women were trained for war. "How are you handling this, Mr. Kill-them-all Creganist?" Donald asked him. He shrugged. "It's a job. Better to sleep on the ground than in a bunk, I always say." The debate roared in Dresden's head. He could not see the converts ever counting as his equals. "Seriously, Donald, how many of these wretches do you think will ever amount to anything?" "Realistically, half will survive the next year, and most of the ones who do will end up as proles. That's 50-something good kelds we'll make out of this batch. Just maybe 1 or 2 great warriors will be among them," the Equerda told him. Dresden let out a grunt and walked over to a middle-aged Tagara covered in light, long brown fur. The side of her face and part of her right arm bore the scars of a fire. He pulled her out of line by the scruff of the neck. "Really? This is going to be worth it?" He noted she was carrying a human infant and pushed her back into the column. "Probably not, but she'll take care of that baby, and he might be our next chief for all you know." Donald walked over and gently guided a young dwarven woman to them. She stared at the ground. "This young lady, on the other hand, is why we're really here." Dresden reached up and touched her hair. It felt clumpy and rough, not dainty and soft like a human's would. "Why are you worth a piss, girl?" "I am Demi. I am not afraid," she said. "Really?" Dresden grabbed a human man and pulled him toward the trio. "If you think you can be a Keld, a chosen warrior of the army of the only worthy gods, then it's time you understand a little something about the right of strength." He grabbed a blanket out of Donald's pack. "Hey!" Dresden ignored his friend's objections. "It's going to get cold when we pass through the mountains." "Fight for it." The two gazed blankly, unsure. "Seriously, Donald, she's your hope." "Ah, damn it." The dejected Equerda pushed her hard back into the line. The man scampered back before facing the same abuse. Dresden just laughed. "Bareel, damn you." They looked up to watch Gain closing in on his co-leader. The warden had his pants half off. "You are not allowed to rape the converts." Donald shuddered. "Just keep an open mind, Dres. All I ask is that you don't become like him." Liz snorted. "He's not so bad." "You're smitten," Donald poked fun at her. "I am not Tianist." She used the word like an insult. "Dresden, Drail and I wanted to thank you for getting us onto this mission." Drail grumbled. No, we don't. We're never going to get through the mountains before winter. Not with this worthless horde." Liz smacked the plodding reptile with the back of her hand. "Would you rather be stuck in the city?" "Yes," he answered. "Not me. The longer I'm in town, the more my master is likely to want me pregnant. I'm not ready for that at all." "What's so bad about that?" the Saurian asked. "What's so bad about it?" She glowered. "It puts me out of commission for a whole year. I have plans, you know." Dresden shrugged. "The summer's almost over anyway. You'd be ready to go again by spring." Liz stopped and snorted. "When it's your body, you can decide." She marched off, leaving the two staring at each other, wondering what they had said wrong. Hell, how's that for social commentary? That'll wrap up chapter 20. Dresden starting his new adventure off on a long hike. This way, didn't even have to go through the gates to do it. He's right there on Moldav. We're going to take you on a little sightseeing tour. So your homework assignment for the week, go to the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this mission, escorting the wretched refuse of the conquered people to educate them to living in the right and proper way of the Keld religion, or just plain old simple victimization. Not claiming that it's good or bad. Well, yeah, it's bad. But this is the story we're telling. We're going to see how some of these people do. We're going to see how the culture develops with this big inrush of converts, of new arrivals to the clans, to the empire. More importantly, we're going to see how Dresden evolves as a warrior. And we can already see that he doesn't just stick to his laurels. He thinks about the things that he sees, and his young opinions evolve as he gains experience. Just as hopefully we all do. We learn as we get older, and go along through the world and experience things. So let's see. This is the part of the story. Let's see. What do we do here? Somebody remind me. Oh yeah, hit the like button. If you feel like it, come visit me on Patreon. See if any of the donation levels look like something you might be interested in. We're almost done with the first book, so if I've entertained you, maybe it's worth a buck or two. If not, that's fine too. I'm just glad that you're here. Remember, sharing is a way to help me out, help me with the logarithms. Inside Facebook, there's the join function. I'm going to have to check that out eventually. Probably have by now. Probably done a whole show on it. For station updates, come see me on Twitter, @Lewis Nichols. That is absolutely the best way to do that. And in the meantime, thanks for stopping by. And I hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful day.